so starting with the first one that I see is from Alex, and it says, hey, Bradley, this is a question about how you connect each form field to each custom value when building out the LLG site so a VA can just fill in the form. Well, all that's in the SOPs, Alex. I'm assuming that you got the SOPs from inside the mastermind community. All of that is built into the snapshots. Like, in other words, in the LLG site deployment SOP, there's the snapshot for the LLG sites, right? So the sub accounts for deploying sub accounts to then deploy local lead generation sites within HighLevel. And that's already all built in. It's in the automations. In fact, here's one of my sub accounts, Loudenfelding Pro. This, okay, I'll show you what I mean. In the automations, you'll see the LLG site automations. That's there. So what you do is you create custom value updaters. That's in the workflows of the automations, right? So, but in order to do it, first of all, you have to have custom fields, right? Because remember, form fields, when you fill out a form or a survey, it populates a contact record, which is a custom field, not a custom value. Just so you guys understand the difference, custom values are account level shortcodes. Custom fields are contact level shortcodes. You see the difference? So you have to duplicate all of the custom values into custom fields. So you have to have a 1-to-1 ratio. Each custom value has to have a custom field as well. So you have to have, and I built all of this into the snapshot that's already present. Okay, so if you use my snapshot, it's already all built for you. So let me just show you what I mean. If I go to settings and I go to custom fields, you'll see that under the folders here, we have the LLG sites. Now, if you've copied my template for the CSV or Excel files that we use to build the sites, we have 9 sheets. LLG company, keywords, URLs, images, and in cities 1 through 5, right? So it's a total of 9 sheets. So you'll see that we have 9, let me go ahead and expand this out. We have 9 custom fields folders. Like, in other words, these are folders. There's a 1-to-1 ratio. All these custom fields here are, well, these are custom values, but they've been duplicated as custom fields here. You see what I'm saying? The difference, contact dot versus custom underscore values dot. You see, that's the difference. So number one, we duplicate all of the custom values into custom fields. And so that's why I created the folders, so that we have a separate folder for all the custom values that have to be duplicated as custom fields for each one of the sheets, right? So there's 9 folders of custom fields. There's also 9 folders of custom values, right? We're going to come back here and we'll take a look at folders here. We got a 1-to-1 ratio here as well. You see that? Okay, so far, I hope you guys are following me so far, all right? So again, 1 through 9. Then we go to automations. Okay, so go to automation, workflows, create a new workflow, and you'll see I have it under the LLG site folder. And then you create a custom value updater. So the trigger is the form or the survey, right? The trigger is the form or the survey that you build, where then you pull in the custom fields. That's why you have to have the custom fields. You have to duplicate them, because that's how you build the form. You build the form with custom fields, right? So you have to have a field for each one of those as well, which is why we have 9 forms specifically set up for each one of those folders, essentially. Each one of these sheets is what they're for, right? And so the custom values updater is, we have the trigger, which is the form or the survey submitted, and you select which form or survey it is that you submit, and then you under the action you select custom value updater, and then it's the custom value, and then the new value is going to be the contact field, the contact value, the custom custom field value. Does that make sense? The token, the short code. So that's from the contact record, because we're updating a custom value, which is an account level short code, via a contact level short code, which is a custom field. Hopefully that makes sense. I know that might be confusing, guys, but that's why I built it the way that I did. But then once you have to do that for each of the fields. So every one of these has to have a separate, or the ones that need to be filled out, they have to have a separate action item for each one of those. So you see, that's why there's a whole bunch of them. So there's 9 of these automations. Each one of them is basically, when it fills out. And by the way, as part of the SOPs, this is the assistant, well, our support manager, Chris Greenhow, he's the one that produced this code right here. So now there's a 1-to-1 ratio between the number of forms or surveys that we fill out to build the sheet. So there's 9 of them. And there's a separate form for each. And then all you have to do is go visit that form in a browser. I'll demonstrate this here, as a matter of fact. Let me just go ahead and demonstrate. I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to Sites, Forms, LLG Site Forms. Okay, you'll see there's 9 of them, just like I showed. 9 sheets, right? See the pattern here? So if we go in LLG company data, for example, and I didn't mean to click into the form. What I meant to do was click preview. So let me click here and click preview. That's going to open up the form. Okay. Now, here is where whenever you can copy and paste data from here into here, but that's a pain in the ass. It can be done, right? You can do what I'm doing with my screen here, which is what we were doing originally when I first developed this. This is how we would do it. We'd open them up just like this, and then we would just copy this and go 1-to-1, right? So we'd start with business address, wherever that is. So just skip over brand, and then it should be a 1-to-1 ratio going on down the line. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And we just copy and paste that stuff in just like that. And sorry, we do it like this. Right, because we got to populate the values. And then once we got done, we hit submit. We do that for 9 separate forms, but that's a lot of copying and pasting from here to here, right? It's a lot of manual work. So Chris Greenhow, our support manager, he created this little script, this code here. I don't even know how he did it, to be honest. I'm not a coder, and I don't have any desire to be. But I can lean on people like Chris G when I need something done, and that's what I did. I told him, he offered this. He was like, hey, man, I know a way that I can add this parameter code to each one of these sheets to where all you have to do is have this Excel file opened up in OneDrive in the browser next to the forms. And then all you got to do is copy that and paste it, append it to the end of the form URL and hit submit or refresh or whatever. And it will automatically pull the values from the sheet and populate all those empty fields. Does that make sense? So if I show you, this is the company information. I'm going to have to go grab the URL for this. So stand by for 1 second. I get in there. I should have had that ready. Okay, so if we go over here to LLG company, now I'm not going to do this because I don't want it to override my current, but we see I've got the LLG company data form right here. We've got it open up, and all I'm going to do is copy this and append this to the end of the form and hit enter. And apparently, oh, you know what? I didn't copy it fully. Try that again. Allow. That's why it wasn't allowing me to copy it. It's weird. Okay, see that? You guys see that? All I did was append that code to the end of that URL and just hit enter. And it automatically populated this with all the available data. You guys see that? So that's how, again, it's all that's in the SOPs. If you're in the mastermind, it's in the snapshot, it's already built in. You don't have to do anything else other than complete the CSV file, which a VA should be doing, not you, right? Just complete the CSV file with all the data. And then all you got to do is, and your VA should be doing this, is go into the HighLevel account, open up each form, then go copy that URL params code, make sure that's open in the same browser, put that code on the end and hit enter, and it automatically populates this entire form, and then all you got to do is hit submit. It's a super fast and easy way to build these sites, right? The most time-consuming part is collecting this data, right? Preparing all this data for these sheets. But that's why a VA does this, right? And then the VA can deploy the site and populate all those forms and everything using their URL params code, as you can see right there. All right, hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, all of that stuff is built into all the SOPs and the snapshots. So you shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever unless you're just trying to do it on your own, in which case I just showed you how to do it. All right, great question. Next.